not here. Now, you all know that we pre-record. So today is actually Wednesday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Last week, I said, Trippy, are you going to be able to come next Wednesday? He was like, yeah, why not? I was like, it's Valentine's Day. He was like, I'll be here. So he texts me later today and says, I won't be there. I was like, happy Valentine's Day. So I was scrolling on social media, and I don't know if y'all could see this. This is Trippy today. So this is why he couldn't hang out with me. He outside. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that everyone had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Today I have I don't think we've ever, have we ever had you on the show?
I was on with Butch one time.
Oh, okay. All right. So he has been on, and I remember that. So he's no stranger to Delaware, and that is Malcom. So Malcom, welcome to the Congo Hour.
Waynna, I appreciate your whole life. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my whole life.
Your whole life.
Gee, okay.
Yeah.
My whole life. So seriously, thank you for coming, because really it was like last minute. I reached out to Nudie. He was like, somebody gonna be there, and he made it happen.
If you don't get Nudie, you hit me.
Okay.
I'm be here.
You gonna be here.
I'm be here.
Why you gonna be here?
Listen, you put a mic on me, I'm ready to go.
You ready to go? Okay.
Always.
All right. So let's start talking about. I know there's a lot of things that we can talk about because you're a man of many hats. But let's talk about Spending Black Matters.
Spending Black Matters.
Yeah, because it definitely does matter.
It do.
Yes.
It do, 100%. Especially here in Delaware. So Nudie and I, back in 2020, it was June of 2020, and we were in the midst of COVID, and we were literally sitting in my room, and we were like, we gotta do something to, really get these Black folks, especially, a lot of the ones that had brick and mortars and didn't really transition and really make that online push yet. We was like, yo, we gotta do something. So at that point, we was like, yo, let's make a Facebook group. And at that moment, that's when Spending Black Matters was created, back in June 2020, and ever since then, we've gotten a lot of traction with what we're doing with Spending Black Matters. Fast forward all the way to 2024, we're 33,000 strong in the group, which is a blessing, and we're about to have our third pop-up marketplace on the 24th
of February. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's So one, I want to thank you because you all allowed me to put my Mimi Sweet Cobbler advertisement on there. So thank you. I appreciate that. Let's back up, because although I know you, we have like an array of people that watch the Congo Hour. They may not know you. Okay. So I want you to introduce yourself.
Oh man. Okay, so I'll give you some context as to who I am and how I got to this point. So born and raised in New Jersey, a little town called Salem, maybe about 25 minutes from here. I went to college in South Orange, New Jersey. I graduated from Seton Hall University back in 2008, and I got my chemistry degree. Yeah, I have a whole degree in chemistry. Like, I'm a full scientist.
We were supposed to do something.
Was we?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, so originally when I went to college, I was like gung-ho about working with the environment. I wanted to work with the environment. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work for the EPA and I'm gonna be an environmentalist. That was the reason why I got my chemistry degree. Fast forward to 2008, that was when a lot of, you had like a lot of, the world was like crashing at that moment. You had the whole housing bubble and all that. So it took me quite a long time to find me a job, and it wasn't even in chemistry when I found a job. And on top of that, I had a fresh baby. So I had a fresh.
You said fresh.
I had a fresh
baby. Out the womb, right?
Fresh out the womb. She's 15 now, praise God. But yeah, so I had got a chemistry degree. I worked in pharmaceuticals for about 5 years. I worked in pharmaceuticals for about 5 years doing research and development in various companies. Fast forward to 2012, I moved to Delaware. My dad was going to Bethel, and what's interesting about that, me and Pastor Beeman, we in the same fraternity.
Okay.
So
and what fraternity is that?
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, that black and old gold. Listen, I'm not trying to hear nothing. That black and old gold made the best choice ever. So my dad had slipped Pastor Beeman a little note, and he had like made an announcement that I was like new to the town, and it was a blessing because, you know, obviously all the frat had came up, you know, embraced me, and you know, it was just a bunch of people. And then ever since then, because like I came down here knowing no one, nobody, not a soul, and that was kind of like what put me in position to lead all the way up until where we at now.
I never knew that you were not born here.
I was not born in Delaware.
Because you like really made your way. Okay.
I really haven't. I appreciate Delaware for really embracing me, and really taking me in as one of their own. You know, I'm definitely a Delawarean. I'm a Jersey boy at heart, but I'm here in Delaware and making my way. So
yeah, Delaware reminds me of Cheers. It's like everybody knows you. So yeah. The
Spending Black Matters.
Spending Black Matters is February the
24th.
And where's it going to be held?
So shout out to Aaron Bass over at Eastside Charter.
Aaron.
Shout out to Aaron Bass. So interesting enough, the last 2 years we were at the library in Wilmington, and we've just gotten bigger, which is, you know, that's a blessing. And now we are looking to have about, last year we had 30. The first year we did it, we had 15 vendors. Last year we had 30. This year we're gonna have 50. So we have 50 vendors. We're looking to get 1,000 people to come through between 12 and 6 p.m. So if you're one of those folks who's coming through, come with some money so you can support these wonderful Black businesses. So that's where we're going to be at. We're going to be at Eastside Charter School over in North Claymont Street.
Do you have any openings for more vendors?
We do.
Why? Why you hesitate?
Because they're getting slim. Yeah, they're getting taken up. We have put the word out. Initially, and we got a couple hundred folk that was interested in being vendors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people that are actually registered for the actual event. And so hurry up, everybody. If you are on the list and you ain't paid yet, you better hurry up because it's about to be a wrap.
How much is the vending space?
So for a regular vendor, it's just $150. If you're food, we only have spaces for 6 food vendors, so it's $175 for a food vendor.
Okay, so you said $150
for a regular vendor, and for a food vendor, $175.
Okay. And if someone is interested,
www. If you just want to, it's a free event, y'all. So there's no money.
But you still want people to register
100%,
to come.
100%.
Okay.
If you register to come, we would love for you to register. If you don't, just pop up. It's cool, not a big deal. But if you want to register to attend for free, www.spendingblackmatters.com, just to register. If you want to be a vendor, www.spendingblackmatters.com/vendors2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know the address of the school?
300 North Claymont Street.
Okay, 300 North
Yeah,
Claymont
so
Street.
we're literally right across the street from, shout out to Marquivas, right across the street from the Nerd It Now warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
can't
right.
miss it. It's huge, can't miss it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back to you. What made you want to be a chemist?
So I wanted to work with the environment. Like I was like,
You did say that.
yeah, I wanted to work with the environment. I took this class and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was an environmental science class, and we just did so much stuff that I thought was interesting. This was before iPhones was out, and this was before obviously social media, because I have different interests now. But I was like, man, I really like working with water. You know, I did a lot of soil studies, and that was like a AP environmental science class. So like I had got back in 2004, when you took like an AP test, if you did really good, you got credit for college. I got a 5 on the test. I got a 5, like, ooh, I get credit. Cause like I was just that into it. And you know, that's what I really wanted to do. And even now in my mind, I'm like, when I get to my next life, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna make a company that's gonna clean the water of the world. Like that's in the next phase of life. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to line, I'm going to talk to you about that.
Okay.
I'm the president of the 3rd District Neighborhood Planning Council. And there's some environmental things that are happening in the 3rd District that you might can be instrumental in assisting
Oh,
with.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm about to sit on, it's coming soon. Malcolm will be sitting on a few committees focusing on the environment here in Delaware. So,
And there's a lot of brownfields here too.
a ton.
Yeah.
A ton. We could do something.
Okay.
I got ideas in my mind already.
Okay.
We can talk about that offline.
All right, very good. When you came in with your cameras, your
I was
tripod,
ready.
your iPad. What's that all about?
So I am a die-hard content creator. Content for me.
What is a content creator?
Okay, so when we say content creation, so we live in a space of digital marketing, digital media, all things digital. If you are looking for a business or somebody refers a business to you, what's the first thing that you do? You Google them, right? So we just live in a space now where content is the king, and because content is the king, you might as well call me the prince, because I leverage content for a multitude of things to build businesses, to build awareness, I play video games all the time. I have a gaming company with my friends. So, content creation for me is being able to, create digital media and being able to distribute it amongst multiple platforms. So that's what I do.
So on that line, I definitely want to give a shout out to Ivan and all the team here at DETV, because at one time we was just Comcast. And so now they made it where you can see it on YouTube, you can go on Facebook, like it's on all social media. And so it's very important.
It's extremely important. And,
Yeah.
I always tell Ivan all the time, there's nobody in the state of Delaware that makes more content than me except him.
Okay. Except him.
Except him.
Okay.
So shout out to Ivan.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy.
So if someone wanted to hire you to assist them with building their brand, their business, how do they go about doing that?
So you go to my website, book me, www.malcomcoley.com/book. We'll have an initial consultation, and then from the initial consultation, we'll go from there.
Okay.
So that's how you get in touch with me.
Okay.
Pay.
I need you to text me all of those email addresses and stuff so that I can share with them, so it'll be on the screen when we're talking.
Absolutely.
All right. What else do you do?
So interesting enough. So content is like my main thing. So let me give a little context before I answer that question. So last year I was in the position to do Leadership Delaware. Leadership Delaware. Thank you so much. Leadership Delaware kind of helped me to narrow down my focus. And, coming into 2024, now I'm able to leverage a lot of the knowledge and the relationships that I've built through Leadership Delaware. Hence the reason why I really have a new, I already kind of knew my purpose-filled walk, but now it's a lot more siloed. So content creation, I'm going to be making content. That's like my thing. But I've understood myself, and I'm really good at technology. I'm just really good at understanding all the nuances behind technology, all of the things that technology does for the folks, for people. And along with that, I'm heavy into the esports industry. So content creation.
You're heavy into what? Esports,
video games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So esports is what you call electronic games, right? So, content, and with that comes entrepreneurship in the business through the content. Through esports, there's many different silos that I'm exploring within the esports industry. And then also within the tech industry. My focus with tech is specifically generative artificial intelligence or generative AI.
I was going to ask you about AI. What you feel about AI?
So I personally believe that artificial intelligence is going to completely change the dynamics of the world in every single industry, and it doesn't matter what industry it is. AI is on the way. Well, actually, AI is already here. People have already been using it for quite some time, but now it's on a consumer level. So artificial intelligence is literally going to change the face of the planet for the rest of forever. So if you don't know it, learn it, because it's going to change everything.
I think it has its pros and it definitely has its cons.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
so I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm really like straddling on the fence on AI stuff.
So, when it comes to just people harnessing and leveraging data, there's always going to be pros and cons and people saying whatever it is that people need to say. When we think about Facebook or Google, how do they make their money? They are leveraging data every single day. They were already using artificial intelligence, but we just didn't know about it because it wasn't on a consumer level. But now that it's on a consumer level, a lot more people are aware of the issues surrounding artificial intelligence. But we're in a space where it's going to keep moving forward anyway. So understand the cons. And also, I'm really big on, if you feel as though that there's, a morality issue or a responsibility issue, put yourself in a space where you can be, because we're still very, very, very early in a consumer level space. So put yourself in a position where you can actually be an advocate. Your voice can be heard around these particular technologies, because it's important, especially for Black and brown people, because there's so much implicit bias when it comes to artificial intelligence. But we're as per usual, Black and brown people aren't at those tables where those discussions are being had. So put yourself in a position to be at the table, or you're going to be eaten.
Okay, I received that. So we're going to take a quick break, okay?
Absolutely.
So I can get some water, and so we can just take a break for a second. So we're going to take a break, and Malcolm and I will be right back.
Yeah.
DETV has been Delaware's premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Good evening and welcome back to the Congo Hour. I don't know about you, but I'm like really getting intrigued now, particularly about the AI stuff. We had a conversation during the break and I'm like, oh, okay, I like this AI stuff now. So I take that back. I'm more over to, I want to go, I like it a lot. So let's go back to talking about Spending Black Matters. Tell me how it matters when it comes to Black wealth.
Oh man, I feel like Black business is the gateway to Black wealth, right? When you think about, interesting enough, I had did a podcast with Pedro Moore, and we were talking about.
Who's Pedro Moore?
Okay, so Pedro Moore, shout out to my guy Pedro. So I know a lot of people out here probably have watched Shark Tank, and and Damon Johns has been a shoo-in for Shark Tank for many, many years. So all of the deals that goes through for Damon John, Pedro is the guy that kind of structure and vets all the deals for Shark Tank. And right now, Pedro is the entrepreneur in residence down at Dell State.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So shout out to Pedro.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Pedro. Pedro, he also is like really big into franchising, angel investing. Pedro gave me a lot of information around venture capitalists and how to, you know, fund your startup. Like Pedro, like when it comes to tech, Pedro is a massive mind around these spaces.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. And let's talk about what else can we talk about?
So I was going in, so you asked about Black wealth, right? How can Black business be a catalyst for Black wealth? So, and I mentioned Pedro because he was talking about franchising, right? A lot of Black and brown folks feel as though that they have to like start a business in order to generate that income.
That's
Whereas if we were in a position where we could potentially purchase a business that's already generating income, then that can actually fast track that generational wealth that we're talking about. Everybody's always talking about real estate,
so good.
real estate.
Well, wait a minute. Well, don't down real estate because I'm a realtor.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, we can have some issues
no,
now.
That's not. I was going to make a point.
All right, make your point.
So everybody always, especially Black and brown folks, yes.
That's all we think about.
That's all we're thinking about.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's so many different ways where Black and brown people can generate wealth. So like I was saying, you know, absolutely, there's so many silos within real estate, right? But there's so many silos within tech, right? There's so many silos right now in the mall. There's Annie Ann's in Concord Mall. There's 2 Annie Ann's in Christiana Mall. What if we were to, as a collective, band together, put our money up and buy the Annie Ann's? We already know that it's making money.
Yes.
We already know that it's a viable business, right? So instead of like starting, this is not saying not to start a brand new business, but there are ways that we could put our money together and purchase a business that's actually already making money. So talking about franchising, that's a different way that Black and brown folks can create generational wealth. You know, because like I said, we always talking about real estate, and real estate is a great thing, but that's not the only thing that could generate that wealth for us. There's multiple ways that we can.
My first job was at McDonald's, and it was owned by Mr. and Mrs. DeLuce on 40th and Market. They're Black. Listen, I learned so much working at McDonald's. I learned my customer service skills. And it's funny because my family hates, well, I haven't been to McDonald's in a while now because I'm trying to eat, I'm eating better.
As you should.
But when I did go, I would get so frustrated if they got things in the wrong order. Like if they brought me my food before my soda, if they didn't fold the bag properly, like all of that like flustered me to no end. And so it was like, y'all, yeah. But they made, I mean, they did very well. And like you said, it was already mapped out for them.
100%. And I always think about, and I'm so thankful to be in this space where I have, you know, people who are thinking about innovative ways to create income. Whereas I had one point where I was like, man, I know, well, I was in a different space now, but I was like, man,
oh my God,
we could, what if I think at the time when I was doing the research, and if anybody's on here, please correct me if I'm wrong, but at the time when I was doing research, this was multiple years ago, where I was like, man, if we buy some land, we could lease the land to Wawa. And Wawa at the time, and I could be wrong, but I remember my research, they were leasing the land for like $30,000, $40,000 like a month, something crazy. And I'm just like, let's get to it. So, you know, there's, like I said, there's just multiple ways to create wealth. And, you know, with me and with where I'm at, I'm really focusing more on how do I get Black and brown people into the space. You can just hit the, I'm trying to figure out how to get more Black and brown people into the space where we can utilize technology to generate that wealth. Because when you think about Facebooks and Googles and Amazons, like if you didn't have to leave your house, but you can get everything that you needed at the drop of a dime, that's Amazon, right? Where are the technologies and where are the gaps in the spaces where we can build those businesses, harness and leverage the data to create generational wealth?
True story. Years ago when I was in property management, I was the regional trainer. So I would travel like to Boston, Virginia area to train new hires. I was married at the time. We only had one car and I had the car. My son, when I called home, he's crying. He wants McDonald's. Here we go with McDonald's again. For some odd reason, my husband couldn't find anybody to bring my son McDonald's. do you know I left Virginia, drove to Delaware, got my son McDonald's, and drove right back to Virginia. I wish I thought about Uber Eats, or I was like, dang. That right then, that was something I should have thought about, an innovative way to get somebody some food when they have a way to get it.
It's always so interesting to me and I'm thankful for, again, going through Leadership Delaware. Shout out to Legacy 23, my cohort. As we were in a position to hear from, the top level folks here in Delaware, I started to really focus on the gaps. Like we have a lot of good leaders in Delaware. We have a lot of not so good leaders in Delaware. So, just as much as we look to them for certain levels of guidance, they look to us to be the innovators and to help them lead more or become those leaders that they might not be able to be. So, through my journey in Leadership Delaware to that point, I was always looking for, and I still am looking for, just small gaps in the marketplace. Whereas, can we create a technology? Can we put a person there? Can we put a business there within these gaps? And I know a guy, he makes a lug nut for a particular piece in a car. He's a millionaire because he makes a lug nut for a particular, and he's the only person in the world that makes this nut, right? So how can we find those gaps in the marketplace so that we can have a product, a service, or a thing that can fill that gap? There lies the wealth, the generational wealth that we could create for all of our families, right? But we just gotta be forward thinking.
Right. I don't want to. When you were talking about leasing land, are you familiar with DJ Wooten?
No, I'm not.
So DJ Wooten is, I forget where he's from, but he lived in Delaware. Actually, he used to live, he and his mother and family used to live next door to my mother. He comes from humble beginnings, and I believe he's in Tennessee now. He's an investor. He has some land, and I'm sharing something that he shared on social media, so it's okay for me to share it. He had some land, and it was some transportation company or the state or whoever wanted that land. He thought about selling the land, but they only wanted a part of the land. Long story short, he ended up leasing. He has I forget, like 50-year lease where they're going to lease a portion of the land.
He could eat off that forever.
What?
He eating off that forever. He don't have to do nothing else.
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a gap.
Oh my goodness.
Instead of selling, he leased the land.
Yes. And unfortunately, because I'm in real estate, a lot of us sell because we want that money and we're not thinking futuristic. And that's something I want to talk about, because other ethnic groups, they pull together.
All the time.
Why? I feel like a lot of brown and black people, everybody want to be the chief. Nobody wants to be the Indian. Everybody wants it to be their ideal. What's up with that?
I think we've just been conditioned that way. I think we've been conditioned that way over years and years and years and years of time. One of the things that I've shifted my mindset, whereas black and brown people, we just have a mindset where it's like, oh, we got to get it from the muscle. We got to get it from the muscle, right? No, we can ask for help. And I talked to one of my mentors, Dan Young. He always talks about time compression. And in that particular conversation around time compression, he talks about how, you could take 10, 15 years to learn some type of skill that can help enhance the skill that you already have. Or I can go and hire somebody that has that skill, and I could fast track that time. I could maybe take 9 years off of that time that I was going to put in and learn that skill. I don't need to, right? And I say that because if we put ourselves in that position where I'm good at creating content, but I'm not good at taxes. You are. You do my taxes, and then I do your content, right? If we could.
So wait a minute, time out. I want to give a shout out to my girl, Lanice Spence.
A shout out to Lanice.
She is the bomb. So I'm going to make sure that I give Dennis her information so that we can put it on the screen. She is thebomb.com.
Yes, she
okay.
is.
All
She
right.
gave me a lot of good information.
Yes.
It's funny
a wealth
that you,
of knowledge.
It's funny that you mentioned her because she's giving me a ton of game around taxes, and I'm like, yo, Lanisa, let's get this content going.
Yes.
So literally, exactly what I'm talking about. It just so happens that that's the
Isn't that
example.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, if I don't know, like I don't know how to do plumbing. You know how I do plumbing. You come do my plumbing, right? So I think that we just need to, and a lot of this reconditioning it's going to happen over time. It's not going to be an overnight thing because the conditioning took hundreds of years for us to be thinking that way, that we can't utilize help or we don't have to get it from the muscle. And on that same notion, listen, all my beautiful black and brown people, right? Sometimes when you get help, the help might not look like you.
Right.
It might not look like you. That doesn't mean that you can't get help from that particular person because they don't look like you. One thing that I've really had to recondition myself because I was like, you ain't black, I ain't trying, you know? And I get it.
Because we're talking about spending Black matters.
100%. We talking about spending Black matters. And at the same time, there are certain layers of information and skills that our community don't have. And if they do have it, it's very, very specialized, and I might not even know that you have that information. But with that being said, there's people who don't look like us who have information where we can go and get that information and bring it back. So let's start going to get that information and bringing it back.
I love that we're talking about that because we oftentimes don't want to share our resources with other people. I know how women can be. Like if somebody says, oh, I like that dress, where you get it from? I'm going to share it. Like here, this is where you go. I'll send them the link or whatever. However, there are some people that don't want to share information.
That's always crazy to me. That's so crazy to me because shout out to one of my other mentors, Joel Brown. He gave me a great analogy, and I'm going to take this with me to the grave, where let's just say I got 2 buckets. I got 2 buckets. You got 2 buckets. We go to the beach. You fill your bucket with sand. I'll fill my bucket with sand. It's almost as if I don't give you information, it's almost like, oh, well, that means that I got all the sand in my bucket. But we on the beach.
Right. There's a whole lot of sand.
It's an abundance
yes.
of sand. And just because I give you some information and to help you get your buckets full, I'm just going to go grab me some more buckets because I gave you that information. That mindset of abundance is going to come back to me. And I got more buckets in the car. I don't want to get me some more buckets.
Right.
And I hope you go get you some more buckets with I showed you how to fill your bucket up a little bit faster. You go ahead, fill up your buckets a little bit faster.
Right.
So, and still, it's still a great abundance of, buckets that we could fill, right? So I'm never going to gatekeep. I'm just not going to gatekeep. I don't have to because it's so much money. If I got $1 from 1 million people, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and it's 8 billion people in the world who could give me $1.
Yes.
And they could all give you $1 too.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not going to gatekeep information. I hope that people who are around me and engage with me, I hope that they don't withhold information from me, especially if it's information that I can literally help you to level up. Like if it's literally a small piece of information, it's going to take you to another level. I don't care.
I heard you say often, and I love that you say this, my mentor so-and-so, my mentor so-and-so, my mentor so-and-so. Let's talk about mentorship.
I think in order for me to really elevate and get to another place in my life, there's certain, talking about that time compression, right? There's people who have already been there, done that. Why it would be ignorant of me to not seek out those folks, to not get that information, especially if they want to impart it in me. Dan Young, shout out to him. He's like, Malcolm, just buy me some coffee. Basically, I'm going to give you all the information that I got because I see something in you. Same thing with Joel Brown. He's like, yo, I see something in you, Malcolm. Take this information because, and they're all like, yo, I need you I need you to be better than me. I need you, and like we just need more of that. We need more of that. Women need women to impart information. Women need men to impart information on them. Men need women. We all need that. Like I don't just have male mentors. I have mentors who are women, and they dynamite.
Right.
They dynamite. You know, I think, you know, like I said, there's places that I want to go in my life, and I haven't been there. So having a mentor helps you to navigate through the potential pitfalls that you could have. So I'm big on mentors. If you don't have one, go get you one. Go seek them out. And mentors aren't limited to just a person. YouTube is a great place where you could find a mentor, right? Read books. Reading books can help you guide you through a ton of different situations, you know, if you apply that principle the correct way. So huge. Go get your mentor.
Yeah.
Huge on that.
So on that note, I have a high regards for my spiritual parents, Dr. Mike and Dr. Dee Freeman. I love being around them because of the exposure that I'm able to see, and then I can aspire to have or do the same thing that they're doing. So yeah, exposure is extremely important.
It's everything, and I'm glad that you just happened to mention, you know, folks who are married. They probably been married for 100 years.
Well, they're pretty young. They're and it's crazy because they're a few years older than me, but I have that much respect for them that I consider them my spiritual parents. So they've been married, I think they've been married 30 something years.
That's
I forget
almost my
it.
whole life.
And I love it because when I'm there, I see every side of them. And what I love so much about them is the same way that they are in their house is the same way that they're out in public. And yes, I want a relationship like they have. It is, I mean, it's just something that I want. The communication, the love, the caring, the family, like they got it all.
It's critical. And, you know, me at 37, my mindset has really shifted around how I need to be engaging in my relationships. You know, I'm black woman. I need me a black woman in my life. That's that. Because, you know, just black women, I don't think that there's any woman on the planet that can really understand the dynamics and the nuances of a black man outside of a black woman. That's just how I feel personally. If any, love who you love.
Right.
For Malcolm over here, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But the black marriage is critical to strong black families. Black marriage is critical to a strong black community. If we don't start to engage back into the quality and the strength of the black marriage, then we're already starting to see, you know, we're starting to see a ton of single mothers, right? And that's been happening for quite some time, since the 70s, right? How do we slowly begin to change the dynamic of broken families across multiple black people, right? And it starts from that level of commitment between, you know, for me, a black man, black woman, and being able to make that union strong. So, you know, as I'm building in business and as I'm elevating and as I'm going to certain places in life, I know that it's going to be essential for me and important for me to have a quality black woman on my side in order to, you know, navigate a lot of those pitfalls, because there's certain things that black women can see that a black man just won't. They'll have a certain level of intuition where it's just like,
that's so true.
Like y'all intuition is just like,
but y'all don't want to listen.
Listen, give it to me. I'll listen. I promise you, I'll listen. Give it to me. But you know, I'm at a point now, and I've experienced enough where I know to listen to the intuition of a black woman, right? You know, and I think for me personally, elevating and going to the next level, I'm going to do a lot on myself. I already have, but you know, really going on to the that next level, you know, definitely. And I know there's a ton of quality black women out here, so you know, and I'm never the guy who's like, oh well, black women are there. So never ever, because my mom black, my sister black.
Right.
My niece is my daughter. So that's going to be crazy for me. If I'm out here bashing or saying all the things, then what does that say with me in their meaning in my life, right? So, yeah.
So this is a little off off what we're talking about, but it came to my mind because we was talking about AI. And so you said that you looking for a black woman. What's your thoughts on dating apps?
Me personally, I think that I like to meet people outside of the internet.
So that's authentic.
Yeah, it's
natural.
because you know, when you get, I'm a lot, so you gotta get me. Yeah, I'm a lot, so you gotta get me.
At least you admit it.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I'm a lot, so you gotta get me. Yeah, you gotta get me like in your space, you know. But at the same time, you know, when you're talking about, it's interesting because you might not necessarily use a dating app per se, but somebody might send you a DM.
Right.
That's not a dating apparatus per se, but it's still kind of like I'm using an app in order to potentially get a date. So, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I have not done that because
you scrolled, you swiped before.
I have swiped.
Okay.
This swiping is not my thing. I've sent a DM or few, or two or three. I've sent a few. You know, I just think that because of technology, the world has changed. And, you know, in order to keep up with the times and in order to continue to navigate one's life, you got to be able to keep up with the changes that are just happening in the world. And technology just happens to make a lot of things a lot more convenient. You know, I live that type of a life where I can get outside. You know, I throw events, right? So it's easy for me to, you know, talk and be around and feel other people's energy, right? But everybody ain't like me, and everybody doesn't engage with people the same way that I do. So for some people, dating apps or things of that nature might be a godsend for them, right? And when you talk about AI can literally, for all intents and purposes, it could potentially match you with your person based upon the information that you give to it. So, you know, that's something that you might be able to build.
An app?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Okay, we'll talk about
You
that.
ain't never even you could build an app for dating, build an app for real estate, all the things.
Yeah, but on the dating app thing, there are quite a few people that Trippie and I know that met their significant other on the dating app.
That's real.
So I'm like, so I wish them the absolute best in their relationship, their marriage, or whatever it is that they have going on, that they met on the dating app. Me, I'm nervous of.
As you should be.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Because people, just because of how the world is.
People are people.
Yeah.
People be peopling.
That's
be
good. They really be peopling.
Yeah, people be peopling. So, you know, just as you use a certain level of discernment when you outside, use a certain level of discernment when you are, you know, approaching people on like maybe a dating app or, you know, social media or all the things, right? Don't put yourself in a position where anything can be compromised, right? You don't do that outside, so don't use that same level of discernment when you scrolling on Facebook or whatever dating apps is out there, you know. So
very true. All right, so our time is coming to an end.
Oh,
we still have a few
already?
weeks. I know,
Oh,
right?
man.
This has been wonderful. I'm gonna definitely have to have you back on
Absolutely.
again. I want to go back to Spending Black Matters. Let's kind of sort of recap that for people that are just tuning in.
So Spending Black Matters, we have a group on Facebook, 33,000 strong, and we'll be having our third annual pop-up shop at Eastside Charter School over in the, I don't know, is
It's
that what
300 what?
3,000 North Claymont Street over there by Marquivas Nerded Nows over there, Kingswood Community Center's over there. What else over there? Teen Warehouse is over there.
Yes.
All the stuff
That's the district I'm in.
Oh, praise God. See, there we go. See, you know all about it. So for the folks who don't, you know, it's a lot of great things going on over there. You know, new housing development going up, all the stuff that Logan's doing with Reach Riverside. Shout out to all the team there. What Aaron's doing with the school. Aaron has gotten a lot of money to build up that school, and that school is going to be phenomenal in 2025. So a lot of great things going over there, but that's where we will be parking Spending Black Matters, the third annual, February 24th, 12 to 6. www.spendingblackmatters.com if you want to register for free. www.spendingblackmatters.com/vendors 2024 if you want to be a vendor. Hurry up, because yeah, they almost gone.
Yeah. So by tomorrow, which is Monday, when you see this, they may be gone. So make sure that you reach out as soon as possible. The content creator, how can they say that one more time for me?
So you can follow me everywhere. Malcom Locks, MALCOLM LOCS on every platform. So
and what's every platform? Because somebody asked me, was I on X?
Twitter.
X is Twitter now?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. X is Twitter
I
now.
thought X was like something that I need to stay away from. I'm thinking like it's X-rated something.
X is Twitter now.
So there's no more Twitter, it's X. Okay. So there's
Twitter,
Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitch. My name is the same everywhere.
Okay.
And I'm on every
Twitch.
platform.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Oh yeah, Twitch is. I actually just did a video on my social media about Beyonce coming over to Twitch and how gaming and live streaming should be a part of anyone's content plan, moving forward in 2024. But that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole new conversation. Yeah, we definitely gonna have you back. Yeah.
Yeah, but Malcom Locks everywhere. You know the vibes. That's kind of like my thing that I say. And that's crazy. That's actually catching on, because people come up to me and be like, Malcom Locks everywhere. You know the vibes. And I'm like, okay, it's working.
So that's branding, right?
Branding, 100%.
Yes.
100%. So, and it's working.
That's
so,
good.
But yeah, like I said, Malcom Locks, MALCOLM LOCS, all one word. I'm TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn if you want to hit me there. So, and I put content everywhere. So
Okay.
tap in.
So if someone is watching and they're thinking about starting a business, what would be one advice that you would give to them?
Just start. Like there is no perfect way to start a business. There is no amount of money that you can have to start. There is no plan per se, right? Yeah, you can create a plan, but when you're just starting, just start. Just take that very first step. What happens is that fear holds too many people back from doing too many great things. What is it? False evidence appearing real, right? So get that fear out of your mind, shift your mindset, and just take that first step. That first step will lead to the second leads to the third. So if you're starting, just do exactly that. Start.
Okay.
And go.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so very much. Yeah, I enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
All right. So if you would like to come be a guest on the Congo Hour, please give me a call at 302-521-7325. Also want to remind you that if you or someone you know would like to pre-plan their funeral, we talk about planning everything else, Malcom.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole new conversation. However, we need to do it. So give Kim a call at 302-652-8887. And of course, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate, please give me a call. I would love to be your realtor. And my number is 302-521-7325. I want to give a shout out to the DETV crew who are always so patient with us. We truly appreciate you. And I pray that this week is the best week of your life. Good night.
Listen, Wilmington, Delaware, listen to me clearly. We coming to Congo Legacy Center, February the 25th, March the 10th with a bingo style. We're going to switch it up on y'all. You know what I'm representing, bingo disco. We coming here to turn the city up. If you're looking for a good time, you're trying to have a good time, you're trying to vibe with us, you're trying to, engage in nothing but grown folks having a good time and enjoying themselves, come out and celebrate. a good time with us. Sunday, February 25th, March the 10th. It's a Sunday also. We coming in the city. We gonna have a good time. Bingo Disco. Check us out. Bingo Disco DEMD on Instagram and on Facebook. Grown folks to really get a concept of understanding of how we bringing it and how we having a good time.
Hey, and welcome to Pre-Planning with Kim. And I want everyone to know that each and every person out there needs to pre-plan some kind of way. So many times I hear people say, well, I already have insurance. What does that mean? You still need to plan whatever it is that you want to have done for your homegoing, for your funeral service, for something. And it's so much better when you lock the price in. Many of you will go to the cemetery and you will purchase your grave space and you will purchase everything that comes after your funeral, but you won't pay for your funeral because you have insurance. So I want to hopefully change mindsets and get people to understand that we need to pre-plan, we need to prepay. It's financially smart to lock the price in, to get it all paid for, and then be done. We can save that money and start spending it another way. And yes, I have plans that allow you to pay for your funeral over time. You can pick 1, 3, 7, 5, or 10 years to pay. I do have a 20-year plan. Don't like to use it as much, but if it helps financially to get it done, let's get it done. I have grandparents who have prepaid their grandchildren's funeral. Can you imagine how great that is? You are 10, 15, and you never have to worry about paying for your funeral again. Because here at Congo Funeral Home, we do lock that price, and we guarantee you that you won't have to pay anything else, which means we're going to put those funds in a place that has some growth, and then that way it'll cover the future cost of the funeral. Real easy. I would love to believe that I'm really easy to talk to. Sometimes hard to get a hold of, so I have getting a team together so that we can do more. But please, I really do. I have appointments daytime, evening, weekends. So anytime that you're available, we can pre-plan and pre-fund for anyone age 0 to 115. So guess what? That's everybody. It's important that we understand currently the state of Delaware is now taking a full 20% from every single person's $7,000 death benefit if you have not designated that to either roll over into an IRA or to go to your funeral home. So you can have that beneficiary on your state of Delaware policy be your funeral director, and then your full $7,000 is used. If your beneficiary is your son, daughter, cousin, spouse, the state of Delaware will take 20% of that for tax purposes. This is not insurance, it's a death benefit, and yes, it can be taxed. 20% of $7,000 is $1,400. Your family is only using $5,600 or only getting $5,600. Why not use the full amount and let your funeral director be the beneficiary? That's one part. I got so much I can talk about in funerals, but we're going to hit just a couple of things today. So, very important, understand what's happening right now with the state of Delaware. Another product that I have for you is a travel assurance. So, everybody who tells me they're too young to pre-plan, everybody is still traveling. If you travel away from home more than 75 miles, we have a product that will get you home if you pass more than 75 miles away from home for $450. It's a one-time cost of $450. You can pay that over a year, and it's there. It's done. You never make any more payments. It just waits for you. If you pass and you're close to home, do you get it back? No. But if you pass and you're in Japan, if you're in Africa, if you're in California, if you're in Missouri, if you are anywhere in the world, this plan will take care of the documentation it takes to get home, your embalming, your airfare, all that you need to get you back to your legal residence that's on your license. Again, $450. You can pay that $450 over a year's time with equal payments. Just give me a call. Let's talk about that as well. So I'm Kim. Did I say that already? Anyway, you can call me at 302-218-8632. Most of the calls that I can actually answer are either early morning or late night. Prayerfully, during my days, I'm meeting people and I'm helping people and I'm serving to try and help people pre-plan. So I don't always get to answer my phone because, of course, I can't answer when I'm with someone. However, if you send me a text message, if you call me in the evening, call me early morning, you can email me. My email is pretty easy as well, kim@congofuneralhome.com. And again, I just want to get everybody covered. We all travel. It only makes sense to have that security. And this is a one-time charge of $450. So unlike all of the other things that we pay over and over and over again, pay every year. I pay every year for AAA. I pay every year. We pay every year for all kinds of services that we get. But this would be a one-time service that you would need. So it's a one-time payment that you're going to do, or a one-time amount. Again, it can be paid over a year, or it can be paid in a single payment. It's $450. What will it cover? It will cover everything it takes to get you from the place you pass back to your legal residence that's on your ID if it's more than 75 miles away from your home. Right? It can't be. If I'm in Dominican Republic, it'll pay for the consulate papers. It'll pay for the airfare. It'll pay for the embalming. It'll pay for everything. So it's really important that we take advantage of the products that we have that are available for us. So prayerfully, people will call and get more information. We can sign up over the phone. You don't even have to come in. Kim, I don't want to come in. Let's just do a Zoom and make this happen. I'm here for you. It's a 10-15 minute procedure. Because in this particular thing, I'm only talking about you passing more than 75 miles away from home. Again, so many of us travel in so many places, and we find that sometimes we have to bring people back home to have their funeral. When that happens, the airfare alone is more than $450. The professional service is more than $450. Any small piece of what would happen is more than $450. So why not take the advantage of paying a one-time fee of $450 and getting that secured? It's something else, just like when you bought your cemetery plot or you bought your marker, whatever it is else that you're going to buy that we go when we make that single purchase for. This is another single purchase that just stays there in case you need it. So it's a great benefit that you can take and make it easy. This is all about making it easier for your loved ones. We know sometimes there are language differences when we pass or something happens out of the country, and it's kind of difficult getting it all together. Take advantage of what's happening right here and now and pre-plan. Call me up with the away from home assurance. So that's what that one is. And then we can talk about everything else later. Okay? So I'm Kim. I am the person who does the pre-planning at Congo Funeral Home. I've been doing it for a very long time now. I even hate to say, but no. Honestly, I've been doing this now for over 30 years, and I love it. And I realize the importance of helping people with every aspect of pre-planning. But this is something new that I can offer and that I can give you. And I really want to make sure that we all take advantage of it. All right. See you next time.